A case study on Lionelson Toolworks. L&T is a family-owned business established in 1981. Uh, it mainly manufactures a range of high-quality standard tools. Most of the tools are traditionally designed for woodworking. By going through the case, we have identified three major problems faced by L&T. The first one, finding a skilled worker in local area is very difficult because most of the skilled workers they move to the west for high paying salaries, and if they recruit a normal skilled person and train him for the perfect uh, machinist, it's very hard to retain that person because he's now highly skilled and he may move to west again. So this is one of the major problem faced by L&T. Coming to the second one, scrap and rework for their high quality standards. Like L&T maintains a high quality standard, and during the final product, when the inspection is going on, they find a lot of errors and flaws in the product, so they need to do rework or they need to send it to scrap. And coming to the third one, predicting supply and demand is very hard for production planning. Like uh, if a customer order comes, they need to do a production planning so that they meet the perfect standards and also the demand in the market. Thank you.
Well, decision criteria are the set of documented rules or standards for evaluating alternatives and selecting a preferred option. Good decision is determined by identifying the most relevant factor and ranking them in terms of importance. Decision criteria are based on technical decision criteria, business decision criteria, cultural as well as legal decision criteria. As L&T was in its initial growing phase, it was facing issues in manufacturing high-quality tools. So in order to overcome these manufacturing issues technically, Tom was continuously studying and examining the lean manufacturing, which is also known as just-in-time manufacturing, which seeks to eliminate waste and enhance the production of product at higher efficiency. Further, he modified the lean manufacturing and processes the production in batch, which increases the productivity even further, as shown in this figure. Despite revenues of approximately 9 million sales, growth of about 10% from the year 2015 to 2016. In fact, L&T was making almost zero profit. The business needs modification to sustain longer. With this in mind, Tom has made major changes to L&T manufacturing space, restructuring the shop layout, adding more square footage, and replacing the aging John Ford CNC machines with a dozen of new American-made CNCs from the Haas Automation. As L&T was slowly growing and its transaction was also increasing, Instom decided to set up IT team and to implement the relevant software. Initially, the company was outgrowing a simple accounting system called Mayov and decided to purchase an enterprise resource planning system. Later, they implemented the SysPro Fishbowl, which didn't do much, and later they finally implements the Fulfill, which exactly meets the L&T requirement and able to provide data visualizations and business insights. As shown in the figure, it is one of the dashboard which is developed by Fulfill, which provide the insights and helps to forecast the planning and the products. The most important thing is the demand of the product, so as to keep the long-term trust and better position in relevant market. Tom focuses to build the strong relationship with the community and its customers. In order to visualize the future supply and demand so as to forecast with a better visibility, Tom tied up with Fulfill, which developed the dashboard based on the data generated from L&T, which provides the business insights and necessary reports whenever required.
Moving on to the analysis part, Neil Nelson Toolwork are now facing four major challenges for their company. First is to find qualified good employees. Secondly, they are committed to deliver high quality products. Third, the L&T is dealing with the poor inventory management. And fourth, since they are not able to find good employees, they are not properly using the tools and working. Moving on to solve all these solutions or challenges, Neil Nielsen is now providing training for all their employees for initial time. And whenever they bought any new kind of machines or any new kind of product is added to their list, they usually provide training to all their employees for that product. Neil Nielsen also bought some new CNC machines and tools so that there will be no product issue from the machine side. Since they have hired a business consultant and they have an IT department, they are using both of them combinedly and working on their management skills. Now the IT department and the business consultant are creating more of the dashboards and giving reports each week or like every day so they can keep a track on everything and now work on the points where we are lacking behind. Since now you can see down there is an image I pulled out from the Nielsen site where they are also providing free books and videos for the tutorials. These are some dashboards and reports you can see that IT department have already created. This one is the casting supply outlook which have all the particular details for the suppliers, parts and averagely consumed parts. As you can see the retail backboard orders report where we can see the product, availability of the product, quantity of the product and the dollar value of each product. If any employee have any kind of comments they can add in the comment section. Work order at work center reports. This is the report in which if any employee is working on any kind of product or machine, they usually have to enter this here. Moving on to the inventory KPI report, where we can only see the inventory values and the percentage of orders shipped completely. So by the time we can see saleable goods, raw materials and percentage of incomplete shipment products. By the use of all these KPIs, reports and dashboards with IT department creating, we can keep a good eye on each sale, product and the season or time where the sale is increasing or decreasing, and due to this we can keep a close eye over all the products and when to make it and can manage everything due to the predictive analysis and using other analytic tools. Thank you so much.
Hello everyone, my name is Bahore and I'm going to talk about the alternatives that we came up with after the analysis of the case study of L&T. Here are the alternatives. Human resource, modifying the recruitment process, waste and scrap management, production planning, employees' daily tasks, and IT department expansion. So I'm going to explain each alternatives in details. For human resource, modifying the recruitment process is essential. And L&T has not to limit itself with the only hiring local people because it is very hard to find skilled workers. They have to offer um, their available positions to out of states potential employees as well. Benefits and rewards are very crucial in order to maintain the current employees. And also it is very important to create a bond with employees so they cannot leave the company very easily. Another alternative is waste and scrap management. It is very important to control the quality control of the production. For example, the grade of casting is very important and it should be consistent. Also, the raw materials and foundry has to be consistent, otherwise it causes defection, and all the other process must be monitored in order to identify the areas of um, defection and waste. So they have to minimize these issues with putting skilled workers for each production machine. Another alternative is production planning. So with the current analytics tools at LNT, it is really possible for them to plan for their production in advance, and they have to set the timing of the production as well. So they have to go, you know, they have to monitor the production plan, and it should be aligned with the analytics tools as well. Another issue that we found out in the case study was that employees, they are not aware of their daily tasks, and it's in some cases they can find about their jobs only when they come to the work. So with the current analytics tool and like Fulfill, they can tell their employees in advance that what they need to do before they come to work. And another important thing is that manager should direct their teams as well, and um, they have to motivate their employees to to reach a certain standards um, for each task. And IT expansion is very essential overall for LNT because they have to keep optimizing the real-time visibility of the production process, as well as using the analytics and the data that they get. IT department can help sales as well to detect the potential customers and locations, and they can do lots of analysis in order to managers, especially tons, to make a right decision. So it helps the decision making processes a lot, and they have to work hand to hand with other departments. Thank you so much.
Hello everyone, my name is Kinnari Jariwala and I'm here to share the recommendations for the case study. Basis the three challenges faced and the alternatives suggested by my teammates, we would recommend that L&T shifts its focus on the talent as an asset. When I say talent as an asset, it is target beyond the borders of the town to acquire highly skilled labor, provide benefits that are enticing, as well as reward the low wastages, targeting two problems at once. For the second one, we believe that more research and analysis needs to be done on the ways to reduce waste, as the as realizing it comes towards the later part of the process ending, which also means that the entire process and the time spent on creating a particular product is also wasted along with the product and the raw materials itself. It is hence important to understand which are the areas where wastages are comparatively higher, and set identifiers, standardized identifiers, to understand how they can be reduced at the source itself. As for the issue of realizing what is the demand, estimating the right demand and creating the right supply for it, one of the ways that can be dealt with is L&T currently has over 100 SKUs with very small quantities of order. That can be shifted, and reducing the SKU size will help them focus on the top revenue generating and the top sales generating SKUs, simplify the process, and understand the demand and the supply there. Once they get that right, they can move to expanding into the other SKUs that are already available. But we strongly believe that reducing the SKU sizes will let the labor force also focus on particular items that are really easy to make once they get their hand on it, and then the quantity also increases. So then that process itself will become faster, and so will the learning.
Implementation. The storekeeper shall truthfully receive and distribute the material according to the material requested from the material requesting person if the material requested from is not signed by the supervisor of or the general manager. The document is not clear or painted, the storekeeper shall have the right to refuse the issue of the material. The warehousekeeper must abide by the principle of the first in, first out warehouse management system according to the purchase time. The materials required by the material receiving personnel are not in the stock. The storekeeper should inform the user timely. And so how do you management inventory correctly? There are three principles for successful inventory management: real-time update of inventory data, understand the inventory cycle, and understand the industry benchmarks. Implementation. The storekeeper shall truthfully receive and distribute the material according to the material requested from the material requesting person if the material requested from is not signed by the supervisor of or the general manager. The document is not clear or painted, the storekeeper shall have the right to refuse the issue of the material. The warehousekeeper must abide by the principle of the first in, first out warehouse management system according to the purchase time. The materials required by the material receiving personnel are not in the stock. The storekeeper should inform the user timely. And so how do you management inventory correctly? There are three principles for successful inventory management: real-time update of inventory data, understand the inventory cycle, and understand the industry benchmarks.
Thank you.